For the shaved salad, we're going to be using a little bit of winter kale, some heirloom carrots. Once that's done, we're going to set it aside. We already have the vinaigrette made and the garnish of cranberries and smoked whitefish. So to start with the kale, I don't mind, a lot of times you'll hear people say kind of pull the stem out. So I'll pull the stem out to about right there. I'll keep a lot of it on right here on the tip. Number one, it's a little more tender. Number two, if you cut it thin enough, it actually provides a nice little amount of contrast without it being too disruptive. So again, whatever you're comfortable with, I'm going to stack mine like this. This is called a chiffonade cut or just a thin cut. And the best way to do this is kind of take it, I roll it into a bunch. Make sure you're kind of holding it with your fingers. Again, tuck your fingertips in. And what you're doing is you're breaking up the fibrous texture of the kale to make it a little more accommodating for a salad to eat raw. A lot of times you hear about kale and you want to braise it, but if you actually put a nice little vinaigrette on it, salt, let it sit for a second, it actually becomes really pleasant to eat. If there's ever a point where you feel uncomfortable, you're losing control, just stop. Get your fingers a little tucked in a little bit better and just go for it. Just make sure you're always secure. All right. We're going to take all this, add it to our bowl. This is really nice. What I like to do with these, again, I'll just actually take the top and the bottom off. Presentation-wise, I will peel the skin off the carrot. And again, you can work with other winter ingredients. Turnips work really well. You're gonna have a nice little texture and a nice little flavor to your salad. But this is really nice. It adds a nice little color contrast to your salad. And again, when you're using even something as simple as a carrot peeler, make sure you're just holding on to it. I like to start from the thicker side and work down into the thinner side. It provides a little more leverage to hold on to, and it also provides, you're going to use more of the product or more of the carrot. If you get down to a point where you're uncomfortable, you can actually even put it onto the table and just work off it. Okay. So I've got the white carrot working with the purple carrot now. And this is really nice. It's going to add an awesome little color contrast to the salad. So first we're going to peel the skin. Again, if you're not comfortable holding it, you can do that. I don't mind holding onto the carrot personally. Working towards the core. When you have the core or the vegetable peels, a lot of times you can take those, add them to a stock pot, or even throw them in a freezer and hold on to them for a later stock. Okay. So we've got our thinly sliced kale, shaved carrots. Again, we're going to hold off to a little bit of cranberry and smoked fish for the garnish. What I'm going to do with this is just add a sprinkle of salt. And because we've got such hearty vegetables and with all these textures, the salt's just going to kind of break that down a little bit, release some moisture from it. We're going to let this go for just a second. To add a little punchy flavor contrast, we're going to add a little sumac. Mix that up. While this is sitting and wilting for a minute, we're going to take our jam jar vinaigrette, give it a little shake. See how it emulsified, all those flavors and colors are in there. It's one unified color. We're going to take this and just mix it up again. As you start mixing it, you're going to notice it becomes a little more glossy just from the liquid coating everything, the vinaigrette coating everything. So for plate up, add a little sumac just for color and contrast, a little flavor, a little salt right over that. We're going to drop a little whitefish right over the top. So for me, growing up in Alaska, it was very common to have canned smoked salmon, or we'd bake off some salmon and have a side of it like left over. And I think about that as well. Something where if you're eating a piece of fish, you have some left over, but it's not quite a meal, you can just use it as a garnish on your salad. And then again, some wonderful cranberries for some color contrast.